At the outset, I would like to thank Government of Maharashtra Cooperative Department and Elets Technomedia for inviting me to participate in this Maharashtra Cooperative Summit 2016 and to give me an opportunity to air and speak my views and perception regarding the cooperative movement in general, and also to share my experiences as working in a cooperative department in Goa. Respected Principal Secretary, Corporation Marketing and Textile Department, Shri S.S. Sandhu ji, and respected Chandrakant Dalvi, Cooperative Commissioner, and I also welcome Vidyadhar V. Anaskar, Chairman, Maharashtra Urban Cooperative Bank Federation, on the stage, and all the eminent technocrats, corporates and industries, the representative of the various industries and the technology missions, the office bearers of the various cooperatives in Maharashtra and of the other states to this Maharashtra Summit. I would like to discuss some learning points which I have obtained as working as a secretary in the government of Maharashtra, government of Goa. Now the cooperatives are, what are cooperatives? Cooperatives are bringing together of the weaker sections and the unprivileged group of a society, and they come together to empower themselves, and they come together with a particular objective, maybe social objective and economic objective, to empower themselves. Now these groups have some common objectives, like for example, these groups can be of a similar nature, fishermen group, they can be of artisans, and they can be of women self-help groups. So the various credit societies. So these people, the weaker sections, they come together to empower themselves. So cooperatives, they are the very important instrument in the society and for the economic and the social development. The role of the cooperatives have been stressed in the various forums by RBI also in its various reports, and also by various nationalized banks and various and the reports of the Planning Commission has also laid a stress upon the cooperatives being a very important instrument of the social change in the society. Now, let me just dwell some gaps which are left in delivering some benefits, some social benefits to the poor who are staying in the urban part of the country or urban part of an area or a remotest corner of the area. Now, nationalized banks, though these nationalized banks have grown a lot in the coming years, in the past years since the independence, but there have been certain gaps in fulfilling the objective of the social or the economic development, of the objective of decentralization, because these banks are operating first of all, the presence of these nationalized banks at the remotest area is minimal, and also these nationalized banks, because the local population, because of their own unique culture and unique ethos, they are sometimes hesitant to go to the nationalized bank and express themselves in their own language, in their own objectives, to express their own objectives to the nationalized bank, that we want a loan for this particular thing, and there's kind of a cultural gap which comes into being. So therefore, first is this gap, and the second gap is the migrant laborers, the artisans, the weaker sections of the society like the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes. Those people, they can be categorized in the priority sector, and they can be categorized in the unbanked areas. These unbanked areas are very difficult to capture by the nationalized bank. Now, there are various schemes of the Government of India in which, and also the various government of states also, where the direct benefits transfers is taking place. Now, these direct benefit transfers for example, in the Ministry of Rural Development or in the Ministry of Social Welfare, they're finding it very difficult to directly transfer the cash or directly transfer the benefits to these people for whom the schemes are being formulated and for whom the schemes are being sent. Because either the presence of the banking system is not in that areas, or the people are not very accustomed to whom these schemes have been targeted. These people are not very accustomed to the banking activities or to the banking transaction. They are not untrained people. So in such scenario, the cooperative banks, they play a very important role in implementation of the objectives and schemes of Government of India also, and also the state government. But then of course, cooperative societies and cooperatives, they have the advantages of participative management. They have the advantage of democracy. They have the advantage of one vote, one member, and they are decentralized. They encourage decentralization at the grassroots levels. But however, there are various drawbacks also, and various inherent illness which is associated with these cooperatives, which has been highlighted by the various speakers before me in detail. Like some of them are that these people, the cooperatives who are managed and run by those people, they are not very professional, and they are not able to actually differentiate their office bearers from the professional management. And the policies and practices and the politics, the local politics of the general management, that gets reflected when they are operating their own management. The management does not run very professionally. So therefore, what happens that they run into a lot of bad debts, they run into a lot of bad loans, and then they come out and say that, okay, sir, to the state government representatives, that we are running into the debt, please offer us one-time settlement. Now, one-time settlement, government again revives them by giving them one-time settlement. Then again, they don't manage their affairs professionally, and again they come to the government for one-time settlement. So this is a kind of a perennial process, and so they have to, now it's a high time that they have to pull up their socks and they have to behave professionally and have to manage their affairs professionally. And the general management of the cooperative has to differentiate itself from the day-to-day working activities of the cooperatives. Then the people who are, or the members who are the various representatives of the cooperative, they are not very well trained also. There's a lack of training also, and these people are not very much, scientific in their attitude and logical in their perspective. So what happens is that they lack some kind of training and appreciation for adapting to new technologies. And the financial position of these cooperatives is also not very sound, because they don't always work on the basis of business opportunity. Like, they are dealing with people who don't have anything to offer as a collateral. They are dealing with the people who don't have any credit history. They are dealing with the people who do not have the proper they are not literate, or they don't have knowledge about how to deal with the various banking transactions. So there is a kind of lacuna at both the levels, at the level of management also and at the level of customers also. Customers are also need to be trained, and the management also requires some training. Now, since the customer base of the cooperative, as I can always distinguish them as a bottom of pyramid. They are the people who are bottom of the pyramids, but these people have to be incorporated into the financial system to encourage the overall growth, policy making, and the decentralization of the country. Now, without incorporating this bottom of the pyramid into the system, into the financial system, the economic growth, the balanced and equitable development of a country is not possible. But then there are so many other challenges and difficulties which are posed before us, that how to incorporate and how to then, this seminar is about using IT to leverage their participation of the cooperatives. But then the major challenge and the difficulty posed before us is how to leverage the various IT instruments and technology, so that we can incorporate this so-called bottom of the pyramid into the financial system. Now, this is the way. Now what I have seen is that, in my state of Goa, where I have been working, that, the incorporation of the various technologies is only supply based. It is not demand driven. Like, because how can it be demand driven? Because the cooperatives are there working at their own levels in their own isolation. And whereas there is an industry which is so much developed, which is so much high tech, and there is a gap between the industry and the cooperators. Because the cooperatives, being themselves not very much educated, they don't fully appreciate the technologies and the solutions and the high-tech technology solutions offered by the industry. So maybe the industry is not providing that in their own vernacular languages, or the industry, somehow there is a communication gap, which I have felt. So therefore, we insist in the cooperative department, we insist these cooperators to come to take their training in the union or training department, and we ask them to go for these technology instruments. Like, they will not, maybe because since cooperative department or RCS has told them to go in for this IT techniques, so they will just incorporate few IT things. But then when you just really go to the working, they see that they are not using those instruments and technology, and they are following their old ways. So what I propose here is that, since the representatives of the industries are also present here, that I would propose that there has to be a proper, juxtaposition of the various instruments with the needs of the cooperative. Because if you are able to conjunct your instruments with the needs of the cooperatives, and you can bring yourself up to that level, that would be much productive for you also, and also for the cooperative movement as a whole. Now, the various calls that we have to take is that those people who are like migrant laborers, or who are like these underprivileged people, now the money which is lying with them, how to put those money in the financial system, and also whenever these people, because these people are earning their daily activities day to day. Day-to-day earning is taking place, and so they don't get a lump sum amount, after end of a month or after a certain time period. They earn daily. So therefore, like, if in case they have to withdraw their money, for example, if a woman who is a household, who is working small activity, who is taking a small enterprise in her house only, if she has to withdraw some amount, for example, rupees 500, now is she supposed to leave her house and day-to-day activities that she does, and go to 5 or 10 kilometers to a bank branch to withdraw rupees 500? In that case, she will have to suffer on account of her daily activities, domestic chores, and then also she has to, and if she is performing some labor somewhere, then she has to, forgo that particular labor also of rupees, that earning also that she might have got had she not gone into that bank or to that counter for withdrawing the money. So, but then in Goa, such problem was been considered and incorporated. So we had some kind of a session with the Vodafone company. That's a private company. So they have been successful in, delivering the small amount of withdrawals to those people who are laborers, who are the women folks, those who are sitting at their homes and doing some small entrepreneurial activities. What they do is that they have small counters. And because mobile handset is a technology which was used to leverage such kind of activities, because mobile set is available these days with everybody. So now what these Vodafone people were doing, that they were SMSing them in their vernacular language, and the people used to, that this much of money has come to your account. And then, in case these people also have to withdraw the money, they would just go to the similar, very nearby counter. And in that nearby counter, they will go and withdraw the money. So this, however, has made the things quite easier for these people, and the money was also been, and we have also been very much successful in incorporating, in putting their money into the financial system. However, there has not been 100% success of this scheme, but there has been some change, and some kind of instrumental change has been noticed. So therefore, we have to address these various issues. The cooperatives are not a central subject. These are the state subject. So much depends upon how a state government supports their cooperatives in the state. They should float various schemes. They should facilitate those cooperators by giving them training, or by giving them various kinds of short-term incentives, and to facilitate and to encourage them. Well, I think Maharashtra is one of the states where the cooperatives have really progressed, and the movement has also obtained a level, but the same kind of a progression is not similar in the other states. So therefore, in this session also, some various learning points will come up where some points can be raised and the advantages can be obtained by the other cooperatives also of the other states. And I have, before coming to this session, I also had a round of the exhibition which was exhibited by various industrialists outside this conference hall, and I had also inquired about them, about the various instruments that they have displayed, in which there was local ATMs and multitask ATMs also was there, and various instruments I saw. But then again, my request would be that these instruments, there has to be a communication, the gap between the industry and the cooperators and the cooperative department, so that the needs and requirements and the solution can be very much, can be aligned together. Like a cooperative play a very important role in the development of any society and for the empowerment of the people, and to bring about and to bring weaker sections and the unprivileged group into the common arena of the society. So therefore, and now the industry has also been participating in this seminar or in this conference with such a huge participation. So I'm very glad, and I'm very glad to, and it's very heartening to learn that the industry is really so much, actively participating in it. So therefore, there are many sessions, and throughout the day and tomorrow also there are many sessions where the brainstorming of the various ideas can take place. And I am very hopeful that some kind of instruments and some kind of technology can be devised, so that which will always encourage the cooperative movement to gain a momentum and to gain further momentum in the state. So best of luck to everyone in this conference and in this seminar. And I thank Government of Maharashtra Cooperative Department and the Elets Technomedia for inviting me into this seminar so that I can air my views. Thank you.